Hello everyone, welcome to Peach on Earth Tarot. I'm going to be using these decks for this month's readings. This deck is the Lovely Omens Tarot, the Wild Unknown Tarot, the Tarot of Pagan Cats, the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards, and the Archetype cards by Carolyn Miss. A little bit about how I read the cards is that I'm more of, I would say, an intuitive reader, which means that I kind of look at the cards and see the story that they're telling me, how they interact with each other, where they want to be placed. I don't really follow a particular spread because when I pull the cards, they just kind of tell me where they want to be laid out. Sometimes that's in the same fashion as other videos, and sometimes it's completely 100% different and might not make sense to everybody, but that is how I tend to do that. I don't really do reversals. What I do is I will shuffle all of my cards upright, and if a card is meant to come out in reverse, it will come out in reverse. I also I don't tend to call out signs. And I know that bothers some people, but to me, it's just not something that I look for just because it's energy. We don't know a person's whole chart. You know, like say if you're wanting to know the signs for the other person that's coming out in a reading. We don't know their full chart. They could easily have, you know, other strong placements that we just don't know about. So it's just not something that really gets called to my attention very often. What does get called to my attention a lot is number patterns. I see a lot of numbers, so that is more what my mind sees. So that's a little bit about me. So let's go ahead and get started with the reading. Hello, welcome to the Virgo Collective reading. This video is for anyone who is drawn to the Virgo energy. You can have Virgo as your sun sign, you could have Virgo anywhere in your chart, or just be drawn to the energy. Cross watchers are also welcome. All that I ask is that if you're here, that you come with good intentions for yourself and for others. So let's go ahead and get started by pulling an archetype card. One or two. We'll pull one or two archetype cards. Please, Spirit. Thank you. One or two archetype cards. Okay. We got Trickster, light attribute, transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. Shadow attribute, manipulating others through duplicity. So yeah, I'm just getting someone, obviously, that's a trickster, right? That it's like manipulation. All I'm getting is just manipulation. And it can be fun, right? Like when we're around people who, okay, so people who are charming can sometimes be a little bit more manipulative. Like they know that their actions create reactions in other people. And so it's easy to either be charming, or the other side of that is, you know, not so great. So it feels like it's just someone here is just manipulating some kind of situation, whether that's you or someone that you're involved with. I'm not sure. I'm going to get another energy, and I keep seeing all these little, like, what to me they kind of look like pentacles. So there could be someone that's manipulating financially. I don't know. So we'll see. I'm going to draw one more archetype card, please. One more archetype card for Virgo, please. Virgo energy. Okay. It's interesting. After, when I was shuffling, what was on the bottom for the Trickster was Prince, and now it's the King. So that's interesting. So maybe whoever the Trickster energy is could be like the younger. It could be like a parental. This could be like more parental energy, and this could be more of a younger, like apprentice type energy. So we have Mystic here. Light attribute. Revels in intimate union with the divine. Shadow attribute. Delusional rapport with the divine. Yeah, so interesting. Hang on, just give me a second to look at these for a second. Okay, what I'm kind of getting is that it almost to me feels like the same person. It doesn't have to be, but the message that I'm getting is that there's someone here that has very good intuition. They are very connected divinely. They know what's going on, but they use it in a manipulative way towards others. Now, that does not have to be just for everyone. Some people, it could be that either they or someone in their life is very, very connected metaphysically, you know, like with divine. And then they're surrounded, like that person might be surrounded by someone who is manipulative but exciting, right? Delusional rapport with the divine. I don't know. What I'm getting here is that it's the same person. It's one person. And if this is you, Virgo, I'm sorry, but sometimes the harder messages need to be delivered too. But I feel like you're using your connection with the divine to get what you want, to manipulate your situation, and that's never a good thing. You don't want to do that because it just creates karma. You have to have like pure intention through your actions. So if we go from the shadow attribute to the light attributes of both of these, revels in the intimate union with divine, which means that you are grateful and thankful that you have this ability and this gift. And then you use that to put out energy that is unpredictable, that is exciting, and show people what it is to live a life in that way. To know that you can follow your heart, follow your intuition, follow your gut, and succeed, albeit not in the traditional sense, where you are like, you're manifesting, right? You're manifesting these pentacles that I saw into your hat there because you're doing it the right way. You're coming at it from the right angle. That's the goal. That's where we want to be. So you could be arranged anywhere in here, from using your connection with divine to manipulate and control your situation and others, or you can use it to lead a unique, beautiful life. And you could be anywhere in between there. Some days you might be a little bit more towards the shadow aspects, and then some days you might be a little bit more towards the light aspects. You just have to really wake up every day with intention to live your life in the best way. So I do believe this is one energy, so I'm going to keep them together, and then I'm going to pull some Lovely Almond Tarot, Lovely Almonds Tarot for the Mystic Trickster here. Can I get 1 to 3 cards for Virgo, please? 1 to 3 cards for Virgo. Oh, I got 5 of Swords. Oh no. With the 4 of Pentacles on the bottom. Yeah, so that tells me that you're definitely leaning a little bit more towards the shadow here. With the 4 of Pentacles on the bottom and then the 5 of Swords, it's like you're resisting, you're holding on to something out of your own self-preservation. Yeah, it just seems like you're resisting something. That you're fighting, and because the 5 of Swords, it typically means, you know, greediness, and the 4 of Pentacles is kind of about greediness as well. It's just about holding on and fear of letting go, fear of moving into that light attribute of things. You know, you're scared. You think that if you let go of the control, if you let go of the need to control your situation, because that's the shadow aspect, is the need to control. You need to let go of the need to control and just follow your heart, follow your intuition, let go of that need of control, and things will play out in the way that they're supposed to and in the best way possible. So just try to release that need to control. So let's get a Wild Unknown card here for the 5 of Swords and the Mystic Trickster, please. 1 to 3 cards from the Wild Unknown, please. 10:01 when I was saying that. Okay, we've got 3 cards here. 8 of Cups on the bottom. Okay. So we have the Chariot, forward movement, that's good. Justice. And the Ace of Wands. Okay, give me a minute to look at these over, okay? Okay, I'm actually being told to switch these around because when they came up, as I'm sure you guys saw, when they came up, they came out like this. So the Ace of Wands was on top. So they're telling me the Ace of Wands needs to be here. And then Justice, which is, to me, it's like adding a sword to the 5 of Swords since it's underneath. And so that's like the 6 of Swords. And the 6 of Swords is about forward progression, moving away from negative patterns. And then you also have the Chariot here. So what I'm getting is that you're going to get a spark of inspiration. It could be this video, it could be something that happens in your daily life, it could be anything, but there's going to be something that triggers you and it makes you weigh everything. Like this is very yin and yang energy. Instead of like the typical scales, it's like a yin and yang energy. This is a white cat with black eyes and a black cat with white eyes. And then it's just a very yin yang energy. And so you're getting something and you're really starting to assess why it is you were holding on so tightly. And then there's movement because you have that 6 of Swords energy, which is all about leaving, you know, negative things behind you and moving forward. And then you have the Chariot, which typically, it's so funny, typically the Chariot is 2 horses and this Chariot is 1 horse. And normally when I pull out 2 different cards, it's usually conveyed as two different people or two different energies. And in this one, it's coming out as one energy. So it's interesting that we have the Chariot with just the one horse, because you're moving. You're getting a spark that's making you just look at everything in a different light. You know, it's shining a light on the way that you're living your life, and you figure out how to move forward. So let's go ahead and get a tarot of pagan cats to see kind of where you're heading on this little chariot adventure. Let's kind of move these up. Yeah, and it's like the natural progression of like moving from the shadow to the light. So let's see, can I get 1 to 3 cards for Virgo, please? 1 to 3 cards for Virgo. 9 of Swords with the King of Cups on the bottom. Okay, so to me, it kind of seems like the King of Cups has a lot of emotion, but they don't necessarily know how to like show it very well. Oftentimes, yeah, see how he's like on an island. They are presented as being on an island. And so surrounded by water, so they have all these emotions, but they don't know how to get off their island, and they just stay there. And so with the 9 of Swords there, it's kind of making me feel like it's scary, right? Being on that chariot, running towards what's gonna make you feel transcended. It's a word here in this Trickster card in the light attribute. Transcended, or it says transcending convention, but you know, and that's what you're transcending. You're trying to transcend. You don't want to be conventional. You don't want to be stuffy. You don't want to be predictable. You want to have a fulfilling life. But it is scary to live like that, right? Especially when we're used to being in the other energy of just pretending. Because that's what manipulating is. It's like you're just pretending that things are one way and they're not. You're making them that way. So it's so scary to try to move through that. But just work through the fear, because, you know, as they say, bravery is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to act in the face of fear. So I do feel like that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to use your divine support that's established here. You're trying to use your divine support to move into the light attributes of things, but it's scary. You're scared, and that's okay. We're all scared. People who choose to live, what was it? I watched the Brene Brown vulnerability TED Talk the other day. Yesterday, actually. It was yesterday. And she talks about, oh my gosh, I forget what I was just saying. Hang on. I honestly can't remember what I was going to say. Maybe I was supposed to forget what I was going to say, that they just wanted me to bring up watching the vulnerability TED Talk. So if you're called to go watch that, please do. It's eye-opening. It's like the 3rd or 4th time that I've watched it, and it made me bawl. Just because it just hits so close to your home, or so close to your heart. That's funny that I said home instead of heart there. So maybe there's something in your heart that you know is going to feel like home and you're scared to try to get to it. But you're going to try. You're going to act in the face of bravery, the true definition of bravery. And you're going to go for it, and you're going to just lay that vulnerability out there. Oh, this is what I was going to say. She was categorizing everyone's stories that she had come across in her research, and about how the people who lived in this light attribute here, the people who lived in that kind of energy, she labeled as, what was it? Heart. Oh my gosh, did I write it down? Let me see if I wrote it down. Heart. Wholehearted. So something is guiding you towards wholeheartedness. I just am going to read this quote because I wrote it down and I opened my journal, so I thought I might as well read it. It's from the Vulnerability TED Talk from Brene Brown. It says, "Connection is why we are here. It's what gives purpose and meaning to our lives." And it's so true. I am a very solitary person, but I am, working through things about connection and being able to connect with people. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, yes, face your fears. It's going to be okay. We're going to get an advice card from the Goddess Guidance Oracle. Can I get one or two Goddess Guidance for Virgo, please, and thank you? Can I have one or two Goddess Guidance for Virgo, please? You can do it. Okay. In that, you have the sun and the moon in this Chariot card. And with that moon on the third eye, it just confirms the mystic label. And you got to run towards that sun. You got to run towards the light to become the light attribute. Can I have 1 to 2 cards for Virgo, please? Oh. Sacred Space. It didn't fall, so I'm not going to take it, but it came out. It was like that. So I'm just looking at it. It says, create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. Actually, no, I am going to take that. Because I feel like really, really focusing and your intention on your prayer, meditation, whatever you want to subscribe to, it's really, when you focus on that, it's hard to not live in your heart space. It's hard to, it's still possible to be scared of your heart space and living in it, but it makes it a little bit more comforting. So you have to really carve out the time, wake up every morning, pray, or before bed every night, meditate. Whatever it is you're called to do, just create a space that's only for you in that moment, and that's what it's for. And it's your space, that's all. Nematona. Yeah. Or maybe, I know like with quarantine and stuff, you can't really travel too much. Some people are, but maybe find a spot where you can just go and be, and it's like your spot. It's where you go. So I hope this was helpful, and I'm wishing you well, Virgo, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.